is a news show.
Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Show. If you're not familiar, my name's Philip DeFranco, and this show really isn't a show. It's just me talking about some of the stuff that mattered in the news to me, starting with Subway. The very popular sandwich chain is under fire by certain organizations because of this banner that they have outside of their location. And literally, the headlines across the news say, Subway uses dwarf to make sandwich look bigger? Which I would say, if I can't say midget, I'm definitely not saying dwarf. Can we just say little people? Because if I call you a dwarf, I just want to give you a little axe and level you up, and that would probably get me in trouble. But back to Subway, I get it. Small girl, little hands. Everything looks bigger in their hands. I get that. It's one of the reasons I'll never date a pianist. I have a very fragile ego, and because I'm a man, I'm very visual. That being said, boo Subway. Yes, Firehouse Subs. It's actually like a side goal dream of mine to open up one, because it's delicious. And more people should be able to put it in their mouths. I'm a man with a dream. But let's move on from little people to my favorite mental midget. Oh, Sarah Palin, how you doing? I love Sarah Palin, because she's not technically retarded, so it's still okay that I make fun of her. But Sarah Palin is in the news again because her new documentary, The Undefeated, has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. A score that I think is literally only shared with one or two other movies. And also means that The Undefeated is rated worse than Battlefield Earth, which is fantastic. It must be those liberal critics, or it sucks, just like you. And I'm not anti-woman. I love women. I just don't like stupid people, regardless of gender. And how do you lose an election in 2008 and then make a movie called The Undefeated? That's like if I produced a movie called Well Hung, the Philip DeFranco story. It doesn't add up, sadly. But moving on. Casey Anthony back in the news again, not because she was released the other day. No one knows where she is. She's probably changing her name, moving location. If she knows what's best for her, keeping her crazy ass away from her crazy ass family. But if you're one of the people that actually followed the evidence, whatever that really is, and weren't just one of those people that were like, hey, that's a bad story. She got off. Oh, this is an outrage. What's her daughter's name? Oh, I didn't catch that part. Jumping on the bandwagon. Well, it turns out that some of the evidence against Casey Anthony was not true. One of the biggest points and cases that the prosecution had was that Casey Anthony Googled chloroform 84 times. At first they thought it was once, then a guy came out with some software and was like, no, she searched it 84 times. Well, it turns out that guy's software is a bust. And in fact, she only did search it one time, which would go with the defense's case that she was like, what's chloroform do? And honestly, that makes a lot more sense because when have you Googled anything 84 times? Ever. Let alone in a 2-month period. Then again, if you looked through my searches, it's 20% internet related, 5% porn related, and 75% of me seeing how to spell words correctly. Google's made me an idiot. Rather, a much larger one than I already was. Anyway, I just want to give you guys some facts, and I'll let you get back to your torches and pitchfork thing you were doing. Moving on to super sexy time news. Yesterday I mentioned Kate Upton. Kate Upton easily being one of my top 3. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, she had a GQ photo shoot. And funny enough, Ken Jeong was also in those pictures. I think the overall theme going, Kate Upton is so hot. Literally, nothing will distract you from looking at her body. Because Kate Upton is mesmerizing. There is no way that you could even, you're not even paying attention to me. I'm ashamed of you, internet. But I do understand. So if you want to check out that gallery, links down below. Now guys, let's move on to one of my favorite segments of the day, and that is, what the white people? And to start this off, I have to say, I don't think I'm ever going to have a child, because apparently all white children kill their parents. We talked about it yesterday. Today's story, 17-year-old Tyler Hadley was angry at his parents because they wouldn't let him have a house party. So rather than going to his room and getting on Xbox Live and calling someone gay, he decided to grab a hammer and he killed his parents. But then he was like, oh, now they don't have parents, I can have a party. And so he literally just left his parents dead in the bedroom and had a 60-person house party at his parents' house. Which you would know if you've ever had a party. Saying something like, hey, can you stay out of my parents' bedroom? It's off limits. If you go in there, I am dead. That never worked. And so someone went into the bedroom, found out, they called the police, and Tyler is in jail. And it looks like he's going to be charged for murder as an adult. Sadly for our boy today, he committed murder in Florida, which isn't nearly as bad as Texas. But Florida does have the death penalty. And hey, fingers crossed. Of course, if you've been living under a rock and haven't been watching the shows, Murdoch and all of News Corp is under fire for hacking into cell phones of 9/11 victims, celebrities, pretty much everybody, which turns out is illegal. Who knew? Everybody knew. So far, top police officers have stepped down, people in government. One of the whistleblowers who exposed News Corp died yesterday. But finally, Rupert and James Murdoch testified in front of a committee, doing that rich white conglomerate person sort of thing, saying, why would I know what's happening in my company? Which, by the way, Rupert Murdoch might actually be knocked out of the CEO position, since being the center of an investigation investigation isn't the best thing for a company. But it was fun and interesting to watch the Murdochs essentially melt in front of this committee. One of the things that definitely stood out was when the committee asked if they knew what willful ignorance was, which of course was a term that was popularized when Enron was under fire, that essentially means you make it so that you definitely do not know. So it's really not your fault, even though it is. And it's essentially like if you said, yeah, I need this guy gone, and I don't want to know what you're gonna do, but there is an end goal here. Any means necessary. Not that I'm saying that, but kinda I am, but I'm not. And the committee saying that willful ignorance would not protect the Murdochs from the law. As well as, something I didn't expect, Rupert Murdoch got pied in the face with shaving cream. Which you would think, where's the security? To which the second thing I would think is for these scumbags. Which of course, I mean in the nicest way possible if they are found innocent and they would like to offer me a job. Not really though. But definitely a big day. Anyways, guys, that's really all that mattered to me today. Today I want to give away we haven't done it in a while, Xbox 360. Why'd my voice do that? Of course, to be eligible to win said prize, 1, leave a comment on this video, possibly about our question of the day, which is, what is the worst movie that you've ever seen? And 2, clickety-clack that like button. Not only does it help the show, but it lets me know you care, and also, I think that's it. So 2 things. But anyways, as always, my name is Philip DeFranco, and you've just been filled in, and I will see you tomorrow. The movie makes me angry. I liked it, but I didn't like it. Now, here's the thing. The whole story is about a car tire that kills people with psychic powers. You know what? Whatever. I'm down with that. Allons-y.